76-54. Manansala dumps it off. Chris Lalata banks it in.
And boy, when these teams meet up later in the playoffs or even in the play-in, they will have to be ready to make these adjustments. I think ang maganda dito is very early in the season na encounter mo na yung Quezon Huskers, and so you have time to make certain level of adjustments, and you've got so many games to test that on. I really feel that the Mindoro Tamaraws have performed at their best when they move that ball. They are quick to a decision. They're quick to a catch and shoot. They are faster to a paint touch, and really just giving it up to the guy that's open.
Free throws knocked down by Jeco Bangkale, making this a 78-56 count. Last 2 minutes brought to you by Sports Plus, the official sports book of the MPBL. And Mindoro about to suffer another setback against Manila. They were down by 10, recovered nicely, scoring 69 points in the last 2 quarters. Pagdating nung laban nila against Gensan, pinag-usapan na natin, dikit pa nung first quarter. Pagdating nung sumunod na quarter, Coach Mike, doon na dumami yung turnovers. Puro live ball turnovers kasi yun in that game against Gensan, which really broke the game wide open. And in this game, the execution na pinag-usapan na rin ni Gianna na is something that Coach Benji has been harping on time and time again. And they were there. They were just down by 8 after falling behind by as many as 19 in the first half, but just could not sustain it. And credit Quezon for fighting back, regaining their bearings, executing nicely, and extending this big lead.
Yeah. And ako naman sa perspective ng Mindoro, I think you gotta look on the bright side. What have you done well? Well, you did well in the third quarter. Second is at least you're getting more assists than that of turnovers. They were actually very solid with only 8 turnovers to this game, counter to the 15 assists that they've done in this match. But what's really glaring right now, if you look at their points, I don't think they're going to get to more than 70 points at this point, as they are at 56 with almost a minute remaining. It's the scoring really that has gone down. From 109 against Manila, they score 70 in their loss against Gensan. Now you're only looking at maybe 60 points or even 62 at most maybe to end this match. And so, with all these scoring numbers going down, you got to figure out how some more you can generate points in a hurry para dito sa Mindoro Tamaraws.
On the flip side, as we would like to thank MoneyPay, the digital wallet built for the community, they have a young, promising player in JC Recto. This is just a speed bump. After putting up huge numbers, coming away scoreless here. Pero marami pa silang pyesa, Coach Mike. This is, like you said, a long season. Maganda na ngayon pa lang nangyari. And they are all business in terms of them making a serious run in getting back to the playoffs a second consecutive time.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Especially with how, the support of Mayor Ina and Coach Benji has been very much, evident dito sa Mindoro Tamaraws. I mean, the talent that you have, especially on the guard rotation, JJ Caspe, JB De La Cruz, JC Recto, RJ Ramirez, Jeco Bangkale, and you couple that with this group of experienced big men in, Mark Montuano, Ken Bono, Marion Magat. Maybe there are certain pieces they want to add on later in the window, but definitely there is a huge potential on this lineup of Mindoro. Matter of fact, when the preseason came in, I was pretty big on the Mindoro Tamaraws.
Recto has to be careful here.
Yeah, you don't want to get suspension in the next game.
Yeah. And it's Vera again in the middle of that skirmish. Mark Montuano joining the fray, had some choice words as Tom Vera was walking away. Obviously, frustration has gotten on to a tipping point for Mindoro because it hasn't been easy in their first 3 games. They have lofty expectations given that breakthrough run they had in making their very first playoff appearance last season. Ganun naman yun eh. Once you get over one obstacle, tumataas at tumataas yung expectations para sa inyong kupunan.
Agree. Again, katulad nga sinabi mo, this is just a road bump that they eventually will figure out. And ang kagandahan nito, you encountered this in your first 3 games. And you understand kung ano yung mga kailangan i-adjust. Kesa naman sa huli mo na, malalaman. Ano? And that's the beauty of this, 9-10 month season that we have. The more games that you play, players are gonna get better. Players are gonna understand the system all the more. And then eventually, they'll be ripe when that playoff season comes.
At dito pumapasok yung sinasabi ni Coach Vic Picasiano na there's peaks and valleys to a long season like here in the MPBL. It's very important on where that peak happens.
Ang galing kumanta niya ni Coach Vic. I remember this one time we went to Alabang and we were obviously talking about basketball and we were doing some video call on the side. And that time that I had that conversation with him alongside his brother Coach Pau and Coach James Tolentino, who now is the athletic director of San Beda Alabang. You just love being around basketball minds in that situation. And me, talagang I was just enjoying that opportunity.
JC Recto missing the front end of his free throws. It's been that type of a night for the up-and-coming star for Mindoro. Sabi sa'yo tama hinala ko nanonood si Attorney Don Capunan.
Ay, talaga? Attorney Don, we miss you, sir.
And we're looking forward to that very first home game of the season for QUEZON.
We sincerely miss you, Attorney Don. Hope to see you back in the games.
Shot clock winding down. Bangkale heaves it. There's a shot clock violation against the Tamaraws.
With just 7 more seconds left, this is, they have 9 turnovers? This is the least turnovers that they've committed in all of the 3 games that they've had. They had 10 and 20. And now you go down 9. Something to build on. Katulad ng na-mention ko. Easier for them on the offensive end of the floor.